midwinter, these pictures are a rugby league fantasy. So often it is warm, it is bright, a dry, fast, hard track, and the fans are enjoying these conditions. Which team can use these conditions the best? Gold Coast, the hosts, the Sydney Roosters in town. Both teams needing to catch fire. Trent Robinson spoke this week about the desperate need to win games in a row. And he said that starts with winning one in a row. This afternoon, the Roosters hoping to take down the Titans. Both teams on 3-game losing streaks, but the Titans, they've had bad luck and narrow defeats. The Roosters off that 14-point loss against Melbourne. And there are changes for Trent Robinson. Victor Radley out of the game with hamstring tightness. As a result, Egan Butcher will start. And Brandon Smith in jersey 14 makes his first start at hooker since Magic Round. What sort of result can he find back in the starting team, having missed 5 games with a broken thumb? The Titans, well, they're very settled, although Tino Fa'asuamaleaui is out of their lineup as the Roosters go into a huddle. So David Fifita's good mate and captain not there, but David Fifita playing NRL game 100, and like he did last week, Chris Randall comes in to start as prop. Seen as a hooker for so long, but starting in that middle forward role. Matt Russell, Lara Pitt, and Corey Parker with you for this one. We've touched on it off the top, Corey. Glorious conditions for both teams. What sort of points in game do we get today?
Yeah, good afternoon, Matty, and to those who have just joined us after the NRLW and a win to the Titans. Now the NRL men, the Titans at home in David Fifita's 100th game. And you mentioned about the points. Traditionally, there's been a lot of points scored here between these two teams who play a real expansive style of football, as we see Kieran Foran really laying down the law, and AJ Brimson. What afternoon is he going to have back into the team?
They went down to Canberra by 4, to the Dolphins by 2, and Parramatta by 1. And of course, those 2 most recent games, well, big talking points at the back end. A decision going against them, and then a no call costing them against Parramatta. They've got to put all that behind them and emerge from these narrow defeats to take down a team that at this stage looms as the biggest disappointment of 2023. The Roosters beaten by the Raiders by 2, Manly by 2, and Melbourne by 14. But James Tedesco is back from a break, and the Roosters running on in association with Down Syndrome Queensland, now a decade association with the Titans. It's been fantastic to watch this grow, and the smiles, the broad smiles on the faces of the kids who run out with both teams on the weekend designated as Queensland's Down Syndrome weekend. It is just a real highlight today. Superhero Saturday, Corey. They've even got capes on.
Yeah, they certainly do. That man there, James Tedesco, back into the team. The blowtorch has been on James Tedesco for a number of reasons this season. Absolutely loves playing against the Titans. Has won his last 6, scored 8 tries, 9 try assists against the Titans in that time. Brandon Smith thrust into the starting lineup. I like the fact that Robbo has put Brandon Smith into the lineup for the Roosters, who at this point it's now or never, as David Fifita in game 100, Matty,
leads them out, and listen to the reception. Everyone is smiling. It's a feel-good day on the Gold Coast. Well done to the Titans and Down Syndrome Queensland. Will it be well done to David Fifita in this milestone game? Tino presented him with his 100-game jersey. What sort of performance does he deliver in what has been, Corey, his best NRL season to date?
Yeah, without doubt. By far and away his best season to date. His most consistent. His output and what he's able to do, the quality and what he gives his side has been outstanding. As to that man there, only played 9 games back into the team. AJ Brimson be looking for a big comeback.
Both fullbacks back from a rest. Adam G is the man in charge. We're about to start your round 21 Super Saturday. The first of 3 NRL games coming to you from the glorious Gold Coast. And James Tedesco puts boot to ball. The kick to the goal line of the Titans, and the Origin star Mo Fotuaika has the first run. Both teams 7 and 10. Both teams needing to catch fire over the last 7 rounds. Brian Kelly as the second charge of the contest. Shadows starting to envelop the ground after a bright day. Aaron Clark in that middle forward role, as is Chris Randall, called in to start like he did last week. Isaac Liu, the former Rooster, to come off the bench for Jim Lenahan, the interim coach, and here's Fafita's first carry of the afternoon into his Queensland teammate Lindsay Collins. Tanner Boyd's boot from the 30-metre line is longed round the ground to Tedesco. The Titans were appealing for a penalty there for contact on Tanner Boyd. No response, and the Roosters get their first chance. Look at it again, Lindsay Collins putting Tanner Boyd in his crosshairs. In fact, it was
Nathan Brown. Yeah, Brown just come through. Collins come to put some pressure on. Nothing there. That's play on for mine. A really sprightly start defensively from the Roosters, and already up over the 40.
First charge from Waria Hargreaves has Brown ball playing off the back of it to Lindsay Collins. Set restart for the visitors. Here's Keary into the starting side. Egan Butcher just took a shot up around the chest. And Keary goes back towards the middle of the ground. So the Roosters through Brown in good position. Brandon Smith to Sandon. The two Smiths in the starting role, and here's a penalty to the Roosters.
Yeah, it was Fodawaker on big JWH. Just hit him on suspicion on the inside. It was terrific contact on the big fella.
James.
You just see Smith just shows on the inside, and Fodawaker just bends his back and gets under the
James,
ribs.
what are we doing? Okay, wait, Brendan.
What a battle that will be today. No Fodawaker
Hold for it. Dave, you're very
against
low.
Waria Hargreaves and Collins. They clashed early. Tap and go. Waria Hargreaves straight into Randall. They want a converted try to open, not a penalty goal. Perhaps they think it's that sort of afternoon where the tries will flow. There'll be plenty nodding their head as they look at the conditions here. Brandon Smith to Keary, now Tedesco. Tedesco has a great record against Gold Coast. Won his past 6 with big numbers along the way against the Titans. Brown, now Collins, nice angle. Tackled by Randall again, along with Verrills, the former Chook. Brandon Smith, the kick towards the in goal, still there. It's cleaned up. Touch in goal, go the Titans. And Jojo Fafita cops a kind bounce. All he could do then, though, was be bundled over the touch-in-goal line. They force a drop out the Roosters.
Yeah, it was nice play from Brandon Smith. Showed out the right-hand side, come back to the left. Tanner Boyd had left the defensive line. He backpedalled, which gave a little passage there for Brandon Smith. They get a repeat set through Jojo Fafita. You think they'll go short here?
Which they do.
Oh, boy.
And it's short and out on the full. It's a horrible kick. And again, a penalty from right in front. Well, do they double down here? Do the Roosters say, let's tap and go again?
Well, it's interesting. You see Luke Keary at the moment. He's pointing to the post to James Tedesco to take the 2. And only moments ago, they were happy to tap and go. I'd like to see him continue.
What's the psychology of that? You turn down a shot from here a moment ago. You get another chance and you say, we'll change our mind.
Yeah, well, I was always of the opinion early in the game, if there's points on offer, that you take them. They didn't do that before. Maybe that they've got a second chance, they're going to do so.
The voice of former Broncos captain during his 347-game career, Corey Parker. Joseph Swali'i, part of a backline reshuffle this week as we look at the kick again. A miscue from Tanner Boyd. So Tedesco back from his break. The coach's call to send him to Byron Bay to have a breather. Joey Manu goes from fullback to centre. And of course, Swali'i back onto a wing. Victor Radley out, so Egan Butcher starts today. Brandon Smith starts in that hooking role. And from right in front, Joseph Swali'i makes it 2-0, Lara.
Yeah, and for those who've just joined our coverage, Roosters hooker Brandon Smith makes his first start, elevated to start in this game for the first time since Magic Round, looking to keep this Roosters season and their finals hopes on the table. He goes head-to-head, interestingly, with former Rooster and Premiership winner Sam Verrills today. And, of course, the Roosters, their star-studded team has failed to deliver in attack, just 16 points scored on average this season, while the Titans, they're scoring on average 20 points or more here at home, and it's a beautiful day for lots of points.
It is indeed, Lara, thank you. Yes, Sydney Roosters kept to 57 tries this season. Even the Tigers have gone past them in terms of tries scored with their 3 on Thursday night. So right now on the live try-scoring ladder, the Roosters rank last, Corey. Who would have thought?
Yeah, it's an incredible stat, isn't it, when you look at it like that. 47 tries with some of the stars that they have in their team. Really, really low on confidence.
Now Brown through the middle. Lara touched on another interesting storyline. Brandon Smith starting against Sam Verrills, who's against his former club, playing for the Titans against the Roosters for the first time. 4 years at the Roosters, including the 2019 Grand Final. He makes way for Brandon Smith. Now Aria Hargreaves, the new and old number 9, head-to-head for the first time. Try telling me Sam Verrills doesn't want a big game as the Roosters complete. Kick down the sideline where it takes a dive from Lofi Khan Pereira to clean it up.
It's a nice place to hand over the ball down in that 10-metre box as AJ Brimson now tries to bring it out of trouble. It's been a solid start from the Roosters, and they've done that at different stages. Now Sami, they look to play expansive.
In hot form, Phillip Sami catching the attention of plenty of Sydney clubs. Here's Jojo Fafita. This is only Gold Coast's second set with the ball. Set restart called by Adam G. And again, Sami's looking for work through the middle. Game 17 of the season, 10 tries in the bank for Sami. Clark goes through Tanner Boyd. And then the defence is in the face of Brian Kelly. Fafita accelerating into Nathan Brown. Pick up from Parramatta, playing his 8th game of the year. Brown. 4 in for Brimson, 3-on-2 momentarily. Sami pulls up as the defence slides in front of him and surrenders in the tackle. 2 plays left from 15 out for Gold Coast. Boyd. Middle of the ground, catch and pass for Clark. Also Foran. Verrill sends it back towards the middle of the ground where Boyd hangs it high, coming through. Daniel Tupou couldn't get hold of it.
First off, Phillip.
So first, Phillip Sami touches the ball and knocks it on. Roosters, they will challenge here. They are going to launch their captain's challenge really early, Corey Parker.
Well, it's interesting to see their captain.
On-field ruling knock on Phillip Sami on the last tackle.
Was a long way from the referee. Sami made it quite vocal that he wanted a challenge. He's going up for the ball.
Onside.
Well, it's touched their hands there.
Just going to see which hand this comes off.
That's off the hands of Sami, isn't it? And
that's
straight to ground. An easy
dreadful
review.
Challenge.
Slow. Comes off the hand of Phillip Sami, just looking to see which direction it goes.
You'd want to hope that Phillip didn't get in the ear of his captain and say, challenge that.
Well, he was pretty animated after he come down when they said it was a knock-on from Sami. He went straight to the referee and wanted to challenge. And it's definitely touched the hands there of Phil Sami.
Is it his hands first into Daniel Tupou knock on?
Well, Tupou's hitting the ball
goes backwards after making contact with Phillip Sami. Play on at this stage.
Play on.
Oh, boy.
So they've ruled it knocked on. Maybe he's gone from dunce to genius, Phillip Sami. Saying that, yes, I touched it, but I didn't knock it forward.
They're saying that's gone backwards off Phil Sami, is what the call has been.
It's a mess.
Comes off Billy Smith forward into the head of Philip Sammy. The challenge is successful.
So a contentious one here early.
Scrum.
Challenge successful. Our apologies to Philip Sammy. It's a brilliant captain's challenge all of a sudden.
Well,
I still think he's lucky.
I 100% think he's lucky. By all angles that I saw, I thought that had gone forward off Phil Sammy. Nevertheless, the Titans get an opportunity in the first of this game with all their numbers out the left-hand side. AJ Brimson out the back, David Fafita up the front, Foran, Camper out on the wing. What do they got?
It's Tanner Boyd, 10 out in front of the sticks for Brimson. Both these sides have made a habit of conceding the first try recently. Who's going to score first this afternoon in terms of the four-pointer? Fafita. Forced onto his back. Strong from Waria Hargreaves. Along with Billy Smith, set restarts. Boyd. Clark stumbles in the face of Lindsay Collins. Verrills for Foran, who comes back towards the right. Randall showing it twice, now taking the line on and losing the ball. They burn their opportunity. The first incompletion of the game after both sides started 4 from 4.
You see already in this game from the Titans, just happy to throw the ball around, as we've seen at different stages throughout the season. Randall comes up with the error, and a positive start defensively for Robbo and the Roosters.
Well, a bit much gloom for the Roosters this season. One bright point has been their red zone or 20-metre defence. The opposition needs about 3 sets per try in the Roosters 20, and that has been proven again right there. As Daniel Tupou comes forward and gets the penalty.
Easy.
Keep on 139 tries for the Roosters, equal with Anthony Minicello. Is today the day for Daniel Tupou?
It's such a common trend, isn't it? When things aren't going your way and you're at the lower end of the ladder, you have an error, then you back it up with a penalty, you just compound it.
Sam Verrills a little keen, one pinged for inside the 10. He gives his former club a leg up, and Waria Hargreaves runs them into the Gold Coast half. The Roosters with his commanding record against the Titans, having won their last 9 against the men from the Glitter Strip.
It's a strong charge over Verrills for Collins.
Including 5 of 7 here, the Roosters. Good ground for them. They try to skip to the outside, Joey Manu, but he takes a good tackle from Brian Kelly. There's another good match-up one-on-one. Brown through the middle, attracting 3 defenders. They're opening up both sides of the ground as they come to Sandon Smith, to Disco, holding the ball to the line. Egan Butcher careers in, called into the starting 13 and delivering the first try. Egan Butcher on the left edge.
Yeah, James Tedesco really come into this game with enormous amounts of pressure. No one feels it more than the skipper. He comes down this left-hand side, and sums things up beautifully. Tedesco just on the outside there of Cleese Haas, delivers a nice little ball to Butcher, who has been terrific. Has been terrific at different stages. Last week, exceptional off the bench. Injected into the starting team for Coach Robinson. And Tedesco, once again against the Gold Coast Titans, where he's got incredible numbers and victories and try assists and tries, starts this game with a beauty.
Game 16 of the season for Egan, his 15th in a starting role, and there's try number 2 of the year. So Egan on the left edge, Matt Butcher on the right, and there's the captain, the try assist, back in the lineup and delivering first up. Joseph Swaleti stays perfect today. It's a tidy scoreboard for the Roosters. Nearly 12 minutes in, Lara.
Yeah, that man on screen certainly looks to be in a mood, and they need him to be if they're going to get a move on in this premiership race, that's for sure. He loves a game against the Titans. You mentioned it, the numbers are enormous from the Roosters captain. That's his 10th try assist in his past 7 games against these guys.
Yeah, he has saved some of his best for the Gold Coast. Hasn't played here, though, against the Titans since he was a Western Tiger back in 2017. So the restart by the home team. They're trying to use the sun and backpedaling to catch the ball well. Swaliti. That's a tricky catch. Mid-afternoon on the Gold Coast on a bright day. Warrior Hargreaves running straight into Aaron Clark. Now Nat Butcher. His team's not head-to-head for more than a year. And the Roosters were big winners in Mackay. Keary pushing Tanner Boyd out of the way and then surrendering. So the scoreboard and territorial advantage early with the Roosters. Egan Butcher straight through. This time it's return serve. Off you go, Skip. Try 1, Tedesco to Egan Butcher. Try 2, Butcher back to Tedesco. He's feeling good today. Corey Parker, explain that try July celebration.
Well, James Tedesco again imposing himself on this game. Just have a look here. Brandon Smith shows to the outside. Tedesco this time sees Mo Fodawaker in front of him. Just give early ball to Butcher, who goes straight through a yawning gap and finds the skipper back on the inside. And a real concern early in this game for the Titans. Really nice play from Brandon Smith at dummy half, and that's the worm. That's you, Matty, on a Saturday night on the Gold Coast.
I've got one dance move, it is the worm, but I don't do it nearly as impressively as the man they call Teddy, James Worm Tedesco. This is a sight Roosters fans want to see more of.
He may have pinched that dance move from the Byron Bay Hotel when he was holidaying last week, you think?
It's a masterstroke from Trent Robinson. Get to Byron, learn some dance moves, and then give us a celebration and what they hope will be a celebratory afternoon for them after some lean times indeed. So we're yet to hit the 15-minute mark, and the Roosters have 14 points. Back to our earlier number, the team averaging 16 points per game is almost there at the quarter-hour mark.
Well, it's the sort of football that we come to expect from the Roosters, and they've produced it at different stages in short spurts, but just not long enough. But their start to this game is exactly that. 7 from 7 to complete. Defensively going after the Gold Coast Titans, and they've got a real spring in their step.
So Boyd again to the bright southwestern corner or southeastern corner, and again it's Warrior Hargreaves bringing us back now. Swaliti. What about Egan Butcher? Only called into the team because Victor Radley was a late casualty with hamstring tightness. He scores the first try and he sets up the second. Great start for the man camped on the left edge for the Roosters. Here's the brother. The older brother by 3 years, Nat Butcher. And Brandon Smith out of dummy half. Keary gets the kick in. Out towards Sami, who makes the catch, and he's smothered by the chasing Billy Smith, along with Daniel Tupou. Now Jojo Fafita, a tough run. They all are from here for the Titans at the moment. Brian Kelly. Oh, ball comes free. Ball free, picked up by Kieran Foran. And Fafita. Middle of the ground. So they get a fresh set because of the contact by the Roosters. Sami, one of the clubs he was linked with this week in terms of a move was the Roosters.
Tackle 2.
Getting Dom Young next year, the Roosters. Philip Sami Of course, not off contract until the end of next season. So come November, if he's not signed, he'll start fielding interest. Here's Brimson. And another set restarts. Off the touch from the Roosters previously, so a chance here to spend good time with the football and build some pressure. 35% of the ball so far, so they'll enjoy this, the home team. And they conceded the opening 2 tries, needing to wrestle their way back into the contest. Here's Haas. They go across the ground now. Randall, Foran takes them on. There was no one on the inside. He was looking for a support player. Fafita. And David Fafita takes a good leg stop from Tedesco. Close to landing a blow here, the Titans. Boyd grubbers towards the in goal. Smith is there, penalty Gold Coast.
Luke, early, no advantage.
So Luke Keary off the line prematurely, Corey.
Yeah, ping for no advantage. He was offside on his goal line there. And this will be set number 4 here for the Roosters. Been under assault the last few minutes.
Haas. Verrills fires his pass to Fotuaika. Fotuaika gets away from 2, still driving. He's strong, Mo Fotuaika.
Time off, mate.
He had the crowd in that southern grandstand out of their seats.
Come on, mate. Untangle.
A determined run that was
10.
from Fotuaika. Carrying 3 bodies, nearly got there.
You can't take your eye off him. Now Clark for Foran. This is Brian Kelly, the straightener. Well handled by the Roosters. That is tackle 3. So still this Roosters goal line defence holds. And it's had plenty of pressure on it so far. Clark staying on his feet for a long time. Hargreaves has enough of that. Verrills to Foran. He just lays it off for Fafita, who fires an offload to no one really. Picked up by Manu, knocked on by the Roosters.
No, comes forward off your hand, then a knock on off Joey.
So first knock on called by Adam G is against Gold Coast. The Roosters survive again, Corey.
Yeah, they do. They were lucky there was a knock on there from Joey Manu because he was off and away. Really trying to isolate the 3 in defence. They're out on that right-hand side in Smith up against Fafita. So far, he's done a terrific job.
Let's go.
As to defensively has the Roosters.
So 12 tackles now for the Titans in the Roosters 20 without reward. And it's their turn to approach defence here. Swali'i hard running. Just the 2 tries so far this season for Joseph compared with his 15 last year. Much quieter campaign on the try-scoring front. Now Nat Butcher takes a strong tackle from Clark. Maria Hargreaves.
You see the Roosters really trying to load up this right-hand side defensively of the Titans.
Nathan Brown.
Already got 2 tries down that edge. It's the worst right-hand side of defence in the competition. Here they come again.
On the left. Off the boot of Keary. He pulls up for AJ Brimson. The chase is good. And they're 12 metres out from their own line. The Titans, that last set from the Roosters, another strong run from Waria Hargreaves. 8 carries, more than 80 metres already for Jared.
Yeah, terrific start. And when times are tough and you're going through a bit of adversity, you really need to lean on your leaders. And you mentioned Jared Waria Hargreaves, and James Tedesco has been outstanding, really setting the tone here. Wouldn't have been a good battle if Big Tino was able to be in the middle against Big Jared.
Jared leads their go forward. He also leads their tackle count. And you're right, Tino Fa'asuamaleaui against Waria Hargreaves. With a bit of sugar and spice thrown in. Would have been anything. Instead, Fa'asuamaleaui out and suspended. brother Isaac to come off the bench for the Titans. Swali'i almost burst through, held grimly by Brian Kelly.
He looks up and about, doesn't he, Swali'i? Really starting to poke his nose through. Went through a flat period there throughout the season, but we all know what sort of player he is.
Now Daniel Tupou. Quiet, humble man, but he's made some noise as a try scorer. Carey. Brandon Smith shoots out of dummy half, not for the first time this afternoon. If you've joined us late, he's in that starting hooking role for the first time since Magic Round. Now Sandon Smith kicking high across the ground. In the air, it's Swali'i! Just short of the line. No, he's scored, and he's got some moves on the end of it as well.
Well, they're off and dancing, the Roosters. The worm from James Tedesco. This time here, it's a little jig from Swali'i, and why wouldn't you? Have a look at this on the replay. Absolutely beautiful. Times his run. Big step, jump. Up against Khan Pereira, and that is magic. Out on this right-hand side. 2 big steps just to steady himself up coming into contact, and then leaps like no other in this competition. I mentioned only moments ago that Swali'i was up and about, and hasn't he delivered?
He feels good about life. Got the moves and the hairstyle, and 196 centimetres, 6'5". If you've got some springs in your knees, you're up pretty high retrieving those balls, Corey.
What an incredible athlete. I mean, the vision that we just saw there, throw that into super slow-mo, it'd be unbelievable. He knew what he had to do from a long way out. He shortened his stride. He had a big step before he leaped well and truly up above. Here we go here. Beautiful kick. Just see on the right-hand side, step, and then just attacks a football.
So Joseph Swali'i with an eye-catching try, having kicked 3 from 3 to start the game, lining up his 4th shot at goal here. Tries to Egan Butcher, James Tedesco, Swali'i throwing a penalty goal, and they're kicking to make it 20-0 in 23.5 minutes. Where have these Roosters been called?
Well, coming into the game, they averaged 16.4 points a game, 47 tries. At the moment, already up over that, 18 points, and looking outstanding with a kick to come from Swali'i.
Trying to add the extras, this time it fades across the face. So 18-0 to the Roosters. Trent Robinson liking what he sees. Joseph Swali'i, 17 tries as a winger, where he's playing today, only 2 as a centre. And you're right, in slow-mo, it looked really good. But the question to you, Corey, Sandon Smith, you know, a big storyline for the Roosters this year has been Sam Walker being dropped and injured. Since he made his NRL debut, Sandon Smith against Canterbury at Gosford, he's been very, very sound.
Yeah, he has. He's been able to go through his role and do his job. He's, you know, a lot of pressure on the young kid coming into a team that was low on confidence. But if you're able to execute your role, make your tackles, kick the ball when you need to, pass to the people that need it, and then importantly, if there's an opportunity, take that. I thought he's been really strong, really sound in his short little NRL career.
Game 7 for Sandon Smith since that debut. The Kincumber Colts Jr. making his debut on the Central Coast, and now a penalty after the poor pass to Lindsay Collins, offside on this right side, the Gold Coast defence.
Yeah, just keeping an eye on Brandon Smith, and I've been really impressed with his service early in this game. But that pass there just went behind Lindsay Collins as he looks to maybe have a bit of a sore shoulder. You look at service, Sam Verrill's one of the best in the competition at putting the ball way out in front on a dime. They get away with it, the Roosters, and looking to impose themselves with more points.
Here's Collins running straight towards a former teammate in Isaac Liu. with an offload for Brandon Smith. Second phase here for the Roosters. Tedesco, they're feeling it in this first half. And they go inside the 20 once more. Nat Butcher playing it. Brandon running. Now Waria Hargreaves, good take. The big man on the move. The ball arrived behind and high. And he grabbed it. Keary holds the pass, goes to Egan Butcher. And he's wrapped up just short of the line. Now Lindsay Collins knocks on. There's that distribution you were talking about, Corey.
Yeah, a little bit of fatigue starting to come into the game for the Roosters, but I mentioned about the execution or the pass under enormous amounts of pressure. He was pushed when he was trying to pass to there, Keary and Collins. That's too far down for the big fella.
That's not the sort of ball you want your starting prop late in his first stint to receive. He's hundreds to pick that up.
Okay, guys, let's go.
But the scoreboard will make him feel a little better. 18-0 to the Roosters. Normal transmission resumes for them against Gold Coast, who they're on this 9-game winning streak against, having piled on the points against, having dominated recent clashes at this ground.
Back it up, back it up.
Very comfortable for them.
Yep.
Maybe just what the doctor ordered for a team 7 and 10. Trent Robinson's been asked, have you said goodbye to finals? His answer, well, we've got to win a few in a row. It starts this afternoon. Verrills. Still a long way to go in this first half, Corey. Enough time for the Titans to force their way back into it. Here's Cleese Haas. What do they need to do primarily? As we see Boyd get the kick away high towards the middle of the ground. Tedesco waits underneath and catches well.
Well, at different stages this year, we've seen the Titans as there's a penalty now inside the 10 for Fodawaker and also for Suamala-Awi. And another leg up out of their own end for the Roosters. And the Titans are playing well and they score a lot of points in quick succession. They love to play that ad-lib style of football and go from coast to coast. At the moment, the defence of the Roosters has nullified all of that.
They're missing the man we just saw, Tino Fa'asuamala-Awi, suspended. So here comes Waria Hargreaves again. So for the Titans, AJ Brimson, Joe Stimpson return this afternoon. Tino out along with Aaron Schopp. Manu gets the ball away. Suali'i sideline again. Wrapped up quickly by Kelly. 25 metres out. Sandon Smith dummies and takes them on. Cut down by Isaac Liu. Joey Manu, the one-handed carry. Out the back, lovely. Lindsay Collins playing like a 5'8". Lindsay! The big boy's gone in! Lindsay Collins, and they've all come packing moves. Try July, adopted by the Roosters, and they're piling on the tries accordingly.
Yeah, put this down to Joey Manu. When he leaves the centre, for his centre three-quarter, he just gets the ball in the hand, puts it in the one mitt and says, give it to me, I'll make something happen. Little bit of silk out of dummy half. Finds that man there, who over recent weeks in the origin period was outstanding. The determination, carries a couple over the try line. And they're playing, talking to Trent Robinson before the game, he said he wanted his players to play with a bit of freedom and enjoy their football. And by the smiles on their faces and what we've seen in the opening 30 minutes in this half, you wouldn't think at all, you wouldn't think they've come into this game where they are on the ladder. They are up and about, they are defending like their lives depend on it, they are attacking very well. They're doing the little things you need to do in the game. And off the back of that, it's 22 points to nil with a kick to come.
You're a big wrestling fan, Corey. John Cena, you can't see me. That's the try celebration.
Hulk Hogan.
Big Lindsay. Put him in a ring with John Cena.
Oh, yeah. He's
got
got a bit of John Cena about him. Yeah, he's got a bit of John Cena about him, doesn't he, Big Lindsay?
Yeah, he does.
Maybe that's why the boys may have a little crack at him.
He's got a lot of John Cena about him.
The more you look, the better it gets.
The same when it comes to the scoreboard for the Roosters. What about this? It's a dangerous 10 minutes coming up for the Titans. They could be blown away by half-time. Unless they can consolidate here, especially with Joseph Suaalii adding the extras, Lara.
Yeah, where have these points been all season long? The Roosters, through 21 rounds till today, had the most points scored with 28 in a game. Already 24 in this game. Can they finally get past that 28 mark here on the Gold Coast? That man there, Lindsay Collins, on screen, he told us in the preseason on the fan he grew up being a halfback and wished he could have stayed there, but his body took over, and there he is in the front row.
Some really good signs when a team's not going so well, or they're lower on the lower end of the competition. You tend to drop off in those little areas, and that's the push play. Or you're waiting for the next play, you're waiting for a setup. At the moment, this first half, we see the Roosters all pushing forward like that play is going to be the most important. And off the back of that, it creates some instability defensively for the Titans. You see there, Lindsay Collins pushing through the line. When Lindsay Collins scored there before, it was Fletcher Baker pushing through the line. Just takes a lot of flies off. Players moving in a lot of directions.
The expert eye of Corey Parker. Trent Robinson, no doubt, liking what he sees so far. The inside play to Disco. They're away again. It's a procession. Now Nat Butcher joins in. A big smile before the finish line, and it's his time to celebrate. They're playing rugby league, they're playing NFL. They'll play anything they want on the Gold Coast. How good is this for the visitors?
Well, they've gone back to back. They have come with a smile on their face and in a real mood. And it's the energy. It's the energy that I've just spoken about. The push in and around the ball, and good things are coming off the back of it. They're running with plenty of intent. All their key players are rising to the occasion. The experience of Weir Hargreaves already up over 120 run metres. James Tedesco in the similar mould. But they are playing a free style of football. It's like they've turned up and go, you know what, boys, we've got nothing to lose here. Let's just go out there and have a bit of fun. But those fine up 1% details that I just touched on there only moments ago is what's sticking out most for me.
The Sydney Roosters becoming the San Francisco 49ers. And there's your quarterback, Luke Keary.
For a team that hadn't scored a lot of tries coming into this game, they've practiced their try celebrations pretty well.
Fox Sports Lab right on it. Corey, there's a stat coming your way after Joseph Suaalii's kick here. I won't jinx him, but surely from right in front, we're about to go with the fact that the Roosters become the last team in the league this year to post 30 points in a game. And they've done it in the first half.
Yeah, still plenty of time left in this game. Could get real ugly here for the home side, but Tedesco back on the inside. You mentioned about Smith and his involvement, what he's been able to do in 7 games. And Nat Butcher, who's been a really, really consistent player out on that right-hand side for the Roosters. What's Trent Robinson going to say at half-time if it is still to stay at 30-0?
He's trying to get a message to Adam G saying, can we skip half-time? We just play 80 straight. They don't want to break. Running red hot, the Chooks. The expression doesn't change a lot in the coach's box.
Oh, the blood pressure would.
Absolutely.
Be running a lot cooler at the moment.
The Roosters' highest scoring first half since they put 30 on the Tigers, round 23 last season, when they went on to win 72 points. Here's Brandon Smith careering down the middle. Keary, they were sweating on him. It was Cleese Haas, and he timed his tackle well. He waited until the 5/8 received the ball. Ball playing through the middle. This is a treat, isn't it? Jared Waria-Hargreaves, catch and pass for Lindsay Collins.
Coming into the 5th and last. We've got no try. I believe AJ's making a tackle, therefore loose carry.
Well,
there you go.
this is Cronk and Smith stuff.
This is brilliant. This is what it
Warrior
is.
Hargreaves for Lindsay Collins, but the AJ Brimson try
It's a
save.
loose carry from
That party
Lindsay Collins,
pooper,
who knocks
AJ
on
Brimson.
over
That
the
was
try line.
superb
We
bit
have
of
a decision.
Brilliant. The two front rows have really set the tone. None more than Jared Warrior-Hargreaves.
Front foot. Roosters, front foot.
The lead-up play was outstanding. AJ Brimson didn't want any of it.
They've extended Jared Warrior-Hargreaves until the end of next year. He's had 14 carries for 133 run metres.
Yeah, he's had a terrific start. They're really troubling the Titans, particularly in that middle of the field, generating some really good play the ball speed. Big Jared, their outside backs, and off the back of that, Brandon Smith's up and about. They're playing back towards the inside, some fatiguing forwards. Tedesco's having a field day, Keary, Smith.
And a set restart here. The set restarts 4-1 in favour of Gold Coast. However, they trail in the penalty count. The bigger advantage, 5-1. They've conceded 5 penalties to 1. They trail heavily, possession, territory, and they're trying to complete their 10th set here as Brimson is shut down by Billy Smith, racing up at an angle, doing what he had to do. Boyd. Brimson for Mo Fotuaika. They've had their fair share of time in the Roosters 20. Nothing to show for it yet. Isaac Liu kicks it on 4 and long. David Fafita. Game 100, an unhappy one so far. He puts this on the floor, and it's ruled knock on Gold Coast changeover.
Once again, 30 points behind. Fafita feels as though he's got to come up with a big play. Gets rid of Manu, tries to offload to Cam Pereira. It's just a loose carry.
This is the first Roosters trip beyond New South Wales since Magic Round. They've been camped in their home states, and the trip north is working for them for the time being. 5 minutes left in the first half, and that scoreboard is right. 30 blocks for a team averaging just 16 points per game to this point in the season. Tedesco for Keary, full of running again. Egan Butcher crossing halfway. JWH, Jared Warrior-Hargreaves getting his first breather of the half. What a monster opening stint it was. 14 carries, more than 130 run metres, a kick across the ground. It's all working. The second kick. Does it bounce kindly here for Swali'i? He pushes it back in field where Brian Kelly is waiting. So a penalty to Gold Coast and quick tap and go by Brimson.
Offside, guys.
Originally the call was play on, but then Adam G was tipped off that Brimson had players in front of him. A contentious call to let Gold Coast reload. Some say it should be a penalty against the team taking the quick tap and go there if you have players in front of you. Not the way it works. And Tanner Boyd finds the sideline. So at half-time, Lara Pitt and Corey Parker will take you through this incredible first half. 5 tries to 0. Eye-catching efforts, every one of them. Nat Butcher, Lindsay Collins, Joseph Swali'i, James Tedesco, Egan Butcher, all scoring. And it's 30 block to the visitors. Here comes Liu, passing for Haas. The game after this one, we're off to Newcastle. Knights, Melbourne, where the Storm have that commanding run against Newcastle, much like the Roosters do against Gold Coast. Knocked down, play on, they're running, but no one's going to get anywhere near him. Nat Butcher races the length and puts the exclamation mark on an incredible first 40. He picked up a loose ball. He almost strolled to the line.
I just need to see if it's a loose carry or there's a knockout from the Roosters with 1 or 2 in the tackle.
So Adam G signals no try. it seemed to unfold reluctantly. From everyone, from the ball carrier, Nat Butcher,
on the ball. There is
the
intent
chasers,
to strip with 2 players in the tackle. We have a decision.
to the referee, and there's why.
Yep.
So Nat Butcher did the right thing and played to the whistle. Adam G knew full well he could review that in retrospect. He allowed the try to unfold, and then we come back. There's the system working.
He said there's intent to strip there. The other one is making a tackle.
So it's a penalty. 38 metres out inside the final 3 minutes of this opening half. Kelly finds the sideline. And so far, 13 tackles make it 14 in the Roosters' red zone. Liu off the bench. It's Joe Stimson back from his HIO protocols. Tanner Boyd for Foran. Fafita, they're on him quickly. Look at the number up under the rib cage. Brandon Smith, and David has a little look. Just seeing who it was there, thinking I'll store that in the memory bank. Watch out, Brandon, if you're held in a tackle with David Fafita in proximity. Randall for Boyd. Tanner takes them on into the shoulder of Egan Butcher. They're determined today, the Roosters, as identified by Corey Parker, doing all the little 1%ers through this first half. Applying themselves defensively and trying to keep this 30-blot scoreline at halftime, if not extend it. Here's Foran, the kick through the line and the cross in cover. Tedesco picks up the loose ball brilliantly. What a first half from the Roosters number 1. What a first half from the Roosters, full stop. Manu. The rest has served him well. Tupou. He'll like his chances of try 140 this afternoon if this run continues. Tedesco. Keary Long down for Brimson, catching on his 20. He runs back into Sandon Smith and Nat Butcher. Lara and Corey Parker standing by with the halftime highlights. 5 tries to the Roosters as the Cowboys, through Philip Sami, look to finish the half in possession. Randall for Fodawaker. They've actually dominated possession, if you can believe that, the Titans. They're in front in the territory. And that should be the end of the first half. The final 10 seconds ticking down. Now, just clarify that. The Roosters having an edge in possession, but it's the Titans who've enjoyed the better territory, yet stare at a 30-0 scoreboard. James Tedesco, back from his breather, loving life on the Gold Coast in the first 40 here. They've scored 5 tries to 0, and they lead it 30 blots.
But he has to do it.
Look at James Tedesco and what he's done in the first half here. A try scorer, 116 run meters, a couple of tackle busts, an offload, and 2 try assists. His fingerprints on everything. The captain, he set up the try for Egan Butcher, then his edge forward gave it back, and he even was in the right mood for the worm. Another $5,000 into the Stapleton and Daniel Anderson fund for Try July. It's been a great 40 minutes from those men, and they're in complete control at halftime. Corey, we had the privilege of calling the Titans against the Cowboys, and the Cowboys, Emma Manzelmann scored the first try of NRLW 23. Not enough to take down the Titans.
Yeah, it was 16 points to 6 against the Cowboys. The Titans able to get a win up over the new French, or the new team into the competition, that being the Cowboys, and Ivani Politi, the fullback for the Titans, outstanding, as to that man on screen, James Tedesco, in the first half.
So underway in the second 40 minutes. The first of 3 NRL games every Super Saturday. They're calling it a superhero Saturday here on the Gold Coast. Sandon Smith goes to Nat Butcher. Warner Brothers movie world just up the road. Great to see some of those superheroes entertaining the crowd at halftime. Corey, you in a long conversation with Catwoman and Wonder Woman. And good to see you back in the commentary box after hosting the halftime show with Lara. Terrell May out there in jumper 17 for the Roosters. His 9th game of the season at NRL level. Sandon Smith drives it down the ground to AJ Brimson. They get through their first set safely, the Roosters, and give it back to the home team, staring at a 30-0 deficit. And the problem for the Titans, or one of them, is they've been a poor second half team this year. The differential for the second halves, -118. They need something Herculean against a side that was really feeling it in the first half.
And it's this period right now, the 20 minutes after half time, where the Titans have really been blown off the park. And that's not to mention the 30 points that was already there, so they'll need to go against all the odds at the moment.
Mo Fotuaika, a standout for them, a beacon as Randall goes through the middle. He needs support, there's no one there. And Tedesco wraps up ball and all and makes the strip one-on-one. Is there nothing he can't do this afternoon, James Tedesco?
Yeah, big play from Tedesco. Randall, it was a contentious play, the ball. Collins was left there. It was Randall out of dummy half. He split through the defence there. And Tedesco, who's been in everything. There's a lot of talk about Tedesco coming into today's game, that he should have been with his side last week after Trent Robinson sent him up and away to refresh, and it's certainly paying dividends at the moment.
I don't know if they were serving over the bar in Byron Bay, but it worked for Teddy. And there'll still be people arguing that he should have been there last week. It was the coach's call. A controversial talking point after the loss to Melbourne, as Keary kicks high across the ground out towards Daniel Tupou, who makes the catch, but he's tackled with the ball, and they'll hand it over to the Titans deep in their own territory.
Yeah, well handled out on that right-hand side for Sami. Tupou went up for the ball, allowed him to catch it, and defended him quite well when he landed. A little bit different to what we saw in the first half with Suoliti, who really leaps with his arms up above his head, which then allows him to release the ball if he's to catch it. That way there, Tupou caught the ball on his chest.
This man was trying to get involved in the first half, David Fafita. That's his 12th carry of the game, but they were surrounding him very quickly, giving him no room at all. Shutting down each carry very early on. No chance of an offload on most occasions. No chance to get the leg drive going. They did a good job, or have done so far, the Roosters, on David Fafita. Waker with another carry. And again, they forced Tanner Boyd to kick well his own side of halfway. For Tupou, who throws it out the back and forces a clean-up here from Smith. Daniel Tupou scored in his last 4 games against the Gold Coast. We go 5 in a row. Let's go sideline to Lara.
Yeah, Trent Robinson doesn't want to see the Roosters let the foot off the pedal. That was his halftime message. But the focus has to be on defence at the start of his half. He wants to see them keep a clean sheet going and continue to dominate the middle of the field. From Titans coach Jim Lenihan, he said letting the Roosters dominate way too much around the ruck. Got to tighten that area up, get to their kicks and stop giving away yardage penalties. So pretty much start again, Titans.
Brett White assisting Jim Lenihan up here at the Titans. An offload from Tedesco. Sandon Smith on to Manu. Manu keeps that arm free. The one-handed flamboyant carry again. And he makes it look like a golf ball. Smith punches it high. Brimson makes the catch. Again, the chase is good.
Yeah, 10 on the chase, wasn't it, from the Roosters to start this second half. 5 minutes into it is now the Titans look to expand. But they're the signs that Trent Robinson would like to see. Defensively wants his team to aim up. And on the kick chase, when he looks up and he sees 10 of his team chasing down, they're really good signs.
Sydney Roosters looking to make it 10 straight wins against the Titans. Next up, Melbourne will look to make it a neat dozen. 12 straight against Newcastle is their aim. And tonight, North Queensland against Parramatta. Here's 4 in quick hands. Brimson to ground. And they call tackle 5 as it's cleaned up on a wing by Khan Pereira. Again, they kick under pressure. So the Roosters have started really strongly from half-time. They're winning this wrestle early on. They take tackle 1, where the Titans have been forced to kick from at the back end of their sets.
Yeah, and it's off the back of those little areas of their game where in the first half they were terrific. 1% is the little kick pressure, the kick chase, the push support in and around the ruck. They've really focused on that.
May. The Taylor out with that ACL at Penrith. Tyrone playing with Catalan Dragons, doing well in the Super League. Here's Keary. On he goes for Billy Smith. Smith tried to position Tupou but couldn't and takes the tackle. Keary across the ground, more towards Manu, who's up above the ball and offloading. Beautiful execution. The leap from Manu. He gets the ball away. And Fletcher Baker, Johnny on the spot. The jump from Manu, the kick from Keary. It is complete, Corey.
Well, he is sublime. The kick is pinpoint, but Joey Manu to get up and above both Kelly and also Foran. You mentioned about the ball is like an absolute golf ball in this man's hands. There's nothing he cannot do on a rugby league field. Just look at it here. Just takes it upon himself. Up he goes. Catches the ball. And then the little flick out the back. Straight onto the chest there of Fletcher Baker. Off to the Broncos next year. But for while it lasts at the moment, that's gold.
He's channeling Fatty Ford. Gold Coast resident. Bumped into him a few times here, and that's gold. It is indeed, because Fletcher Baker has his first try of the season, the third of his career. Only called into the 17 because Victor Radley is out with that hamstring issue. So the flow-on effect saw a position open up for Fletcher Baker, but Joey Manu, fullback, centre, 5'8" today. He's in the centres. And again, he shows us that skill, that athleticism. This year he's played 3 games at fullback. His 6th game today in the centres, equaling the amount he's played at 5'8" this season. So versatile in the back line, and Swali'i having a good day with the boot as well. It's 36-0 to the Roosters. Watch and enjoy again. The legion of fans the Roosters have, they haven't seen enough of this try scoring this year.
We've been given some highlights in this game from some of the game's stars who have been quiet at different stages over the year, but today, this afternoon on the Gold Coast, we are getting...
Who does it better, Fatty or Fletcher?
Wow, you answer that one.
Next up, we're off to Newcastle. Warren Smith, Steve Roach, Jake Duke to bring you Knights Storm. Dane Gagai returning from a foot injury for Newcastle. The only change they slated from their most recent win against the Tigers. Can the Knights back it up by upsetting the Storm? And then Cowboys Eels. North Queensland shooting for 6 wins in a row. Haven't they caught fire at the right time? Drinkwater starring for them. A legion of Maroons back in the lineup. Cowboys Eels tonight. Another footy feast on Fox League. Well, how high do the Roosters go today? 31 minutes to play, 36 points on the board. Started the game 3 wins out of the top 8, so a lot of work to do. Sandon Smith Kicking, looking for Fletcher Baker again. The big man's on the move. Brimson gets there first, and Fletcher Baker goes from thinking double to thinking tackle in the blink of an eye.
It was the right play, wasn't it, from Smith? Just the wrong player chasing. He thought it might have been Manu on his outside. Sami now out on the right-hand side.
So the live ladder showing where the Roosters would go if full time was called right now, 10th. But ground to make up with the finish line looming large. They're against the clock, so to speak, in terms of cracking that top 8.
Well, they had to focus solely on this game and get everything that they needed to get out of it. And so far, so good. Before you start looking any further down the track.
Tanner Boyd's kick is collected by Tedesco, but on the back of this performance, Corey, the conversation this week will be, can the Roosters go on a winning streak? Can they crack that top 8?
Well, the Roosters have been very good up to date. Still 29 minutes remaining in this game. The Titans haven't thrown a lot at them, but those little areas that I mentioned and have banged on about, I have really enjoyed, and that's what gets you back into games. Those little 1%ers, the push in and around the ball, they're all up over the advantage line, not waiting, sitting back for someone else to do it.
May with the offload for Tedesco. Tedesco scampers inside the 20 and kicks. Keary on the chase, getting there first. The Gold Coast Titans. They're trapped in goal. A close call for Keary. Sami cleans up, but at least the Roosters force the goal line dropout.
Yeah, Tedesco puts the ball on the toe there, and Keary looked like he was going to get there before Sami made a last-ditch effort to get across. And again, the Roosters just flooding in and around the ball. Their tempo of the game. Unable to keep up with it, the Titans. We see that second half territory, 78% in the way of the Tricolours as they go short here.
Tanner Boyd got it wrong in the first half, not the second, but again, Swaliti.
Probably not the person you need to be kicking towards Swaliti. I don't think there's anyone better in the game that can get as high. Maybe Xavier Coates.
He was aerial in the first half like that for a try. This time to defuse a short goal line dropout. Brandon Smith, Keary, through the hands they go. Egan Butcher, catch and pass nicely. And tackled with the ball, Billy Smith. Keary. Lindsay Collins. Now Sandon Smith whips his pass for Manu. The flick offload for Swaliti, wrapped up by Khan Pereira. 10 metres out, final play now, Roosters. Sandon Smith high across the face of goal. This will ask some questions. It's bouncing, it's picked up, but again, now an offload. Brimson counters, and the Titans get back into the field of play. Well, the Roosters stop there.
Well, they survived the Titans. I think it was Billy Smith that went up for the ball. The ball went backwards off the Roosters into a Titans' hand. They're just under all sorts of fatigue at the moment. The Titans doing it tough, coming out of their own end, relying on the back 5 to just try and get them out and somewhere up the field.
You wonder whether the Titans would have survived had they been forced into another goal line dropout. So a big return in the context of keeping the Roosters at bay, because Jared Waerea-Hargreaves is about to return after his huge first stint.
He was incredible, wasn't he?
Ageless.
To set the platform for the Roosters, and more importantly, the tone of where he wanted his troops. 133 run metres, 14 runs.
This is a 34-year-old in his 15th season of NRL. Anything but easing down to the line. Fantastic today, Waerea-Hargreaves. Again, the kick target is Swaliti.
He's had one of his better games of the season too. Swaliti's been quiet over a number of weeks. That's run number 18, 150-odd run metres. Come up with a try also.
Offloads 9-3 in favour of the Roosters, and they've forced 22 missed tackles on the Titans. So as we look at Keary, up towards Egan Butcher. The ball bounces for Billy Smith. No knock on. So Hargreaves, Waerea-Hargreaves back out there. Lindsay Collins gets a breather. Tedesco handled by Liu. And they call ice Isaac Liu. Smith high out towards Khan Pereira's wing. And he's tackled as he gets back to ground. Timing it nicely. Siwa Wong.
Oh, I was just going to say that. Love a penalty coming out. And they come up with an error here through Khan Pereira. There's 4 or 5, 6 players with their hands on their hips, bent over.
Corey, here's a chance for Siwa Wong, just his 3rd NRL game, the 20-year-old, the young, raw forward, onto the ground with his team in complete control. Unlike his first couple of games, he can really roll his sleeves up, enjoy the occasion, and start his NRL journey with a 3rd step in terms of games played.
Yeah. It's a good time to come on, 36 points to nil. It's so difficult when you're trying to start your NRL career and you get put into a game when you're under all sorts of pressure or you're chasing points on the scoreboard. Completely different situation here for Wong.
Jersey 16 there in that traditional hooking role. The Fiji international. And Rooster, Keary to Sandon Smith, gets the ball away. Daniel Tupou! There is his moment in time. Try 140, the most in the history of this famous foundation club. He's quiet, he's humble, but he's hoisted above the shoulders of his teammates the greatest try scorer in the history of the Eastern Suburbs Roosters, come the Sydney Roosters. Take a bow. It's a big bow, but hasn't he made some noise during a 12-year career as a Rooster, and now their greatest try scorer all time.
Oh, that's an incredible try celebration. Have a look at how this unfolds. Great little scrum play here. You see out in the back, Keary comes around. Smith does an excellent job. Doesn't overplay his hand, pumps it, and then gives it to Tupou out on that left wing. Oh, don't take it off him.
No.
You can't take it off him.
Has Daniel gone into touch here?
Review for a possible obstruction.
That's obstruction they're looking at.
Just looking at the run of Billy Smith in contact with Tanner Boyd. Billy Smith runs at the outside shoulder. Tanner Boyd's in slide. This affects his ability to defend the play, which causes impact to the Titans' defensive line. We have a decision.
Oh, no.
We'll rewind everything we just said. Everything that just happened in terms of being hoisted above his teammates' shoulders. And let's do it again. Obstruction spoils the pun. 140 minus 1 equals 139, still equal with Anthony Minicello.
Stay on, guys.
Well, that's, yeah, there's Minnie there.
Good to see him here to support and watch Daniel Tupou, but he's struggling like we are. The big moment.
It's not quite there yet.
Not yet. Still 24 minutes to go today. 9 penalties in the game, 5 of them to the visitors. They were ahead 5-1 at one point. Clark for Foran, now for Feta, looking to offload and does. Brimson positions his outside man, great tackle. Tedesco knocks the ball free. There's some defensive application. He's having a booming afternoon.
Yeah, and there's some scenes we haven't seen in a long time. Have a look at the Roosters players come. Even Tupou over on that far side, making his way over to show Tedesco how much appreciation he has for what he's been able to do here. Tedesco comes across and absolutely gives it to Kelly. They have come from far and wide, the Roosters. They are up and about. This is a different team that we're seeing this afternoon.
And it's a different James Tedesco.
Absolutely it is.
Performance he sets sees a comparison week in, week out. He would admit he's been below that normal bar, but not today. He's lifted the bar as his team comes away from the 10-metre line. Up next, Newcastle, Melbourne in the Hunter. The Storm set to roll with the same 17 who beat the Roosters last weekend at the SCG. That's next as Super Saturday rolls on. What has been a fantastic afternoon weather-wise on the Gold Coast. Not a fantastic afternoon if you're supporting the home team. May, confident confident enough to pass for Egan Butcher. May again as they back their way downtown. Tackle 5 there. And Keary now off the right boot, high. The chase is there to put pressure on. Tedesco got a touch. Now it's picked up by the Titans and play on the call. So no touch previously from the Titans. Sami. Their highlight of the game probably a few minutes ago, the burst by Fafita, the offload for Brimson. And the opportunity that opened up for Kelly before Tedesco arrived with a crunch. Here's Kelly. Now Clark. Passing at the line. And finding Stimson. The kick sits up for Swali'i. Joseph not content just to amble back into the defence. They're looking to attack on every play. 30-0 leaders at half-time. One try since the resumption and one call back for that man who gets an offload away. Jimbo for Tedesco.
So even that play there, you know, Keary just really pushing hard on the outside. Just puts the defence in two minds.
Baker running off Sandon Smith and going back to his halfback. Smith to Keary. Cut down from behind. Kieran Foran. Desperate tackle by the veteran 5'8". Now the pass. Swali'i. It's called forward inside. Nat Butcher had to do it rapidly and gets it a little wrong.
Yeah, that was unlucky from Nat Butcher. Hard pass to do. They come the right side. It was beautiful hands from Manu to Butcher. Just caught it behind him. Really hard pass to do in that situation. And Suali'i jumped from 5 metres out. As now the Titans look to bring on Jaden Campbell, who it's a bit of a conundrum for the Titans. The game is gone. It's 36 points to nil, 20 minutes remaining. But Jaden Campbell is a player that can really light up and create from anywhere. The question has been, well, how does he get used in this team?
He and AJ Brimson signed until the end of 2026. So ultimately,
Tanner Boyd is leaving the field, the halfback for the Titans. Tanner Boyd's leaving, and
here's the storyline. Jim Lenahan dragging his halfback from the ground and sending Jaden Campbell out in that position. Zach Liu has the ball. Is it a niggle for Tanner Boyd? Is it just an opportunity to get Jaden Campbell out there? Is he unhappy with Tanner Boyd? A question for Jim Lenahan post-game.
Well, he can't be unhappy with exactly just Tanner Boyd. It's 36 points to nil. Maybe he's just thought, well, I've got to get Campbell on somehow. I'll just do it any which way I can, and he's pulled his halfback off. David Fafita in game 100. It's been an unhappy milestone game for David at the moment. He's tried hard.
With 14 runs for 88 metres, so normally his 14 carries would yield much more than that. The Roosters defence deserves credit when you look at his stats line. And Tanner Boyd, the long walk back to the Titans bench. Still, best part of 19 minutes left. Daniel Tupou through the middle of the ground. Can the Roosters get to 50? 36-0. Maria Hargreaves next up for the Roosters. They stay in Queensland Thursday night at the Gabba against the Broncos. Nathan Brown coming forward.
You really get to see, particularly in the opening stage of this game, how much and how inspiring Tino Fa'asuamaleaui is for this team. There's just been a lack of punch in that middle. Activated his clause in his contract to suggest that he can go and talk elsewhere. It is critical that they keep Tino on the Gold Coast, particularly what we've seen here this afternoon.
To provide the platform for players like this, Alofiana Khan Pereira 16 games, 17 tries coming into this one. And he's set to be kept scoreless today. Now Clark, Campbell, and at halfway the offload to Brimson. And he's tackled by Keary. So final play, can you remember a Gold Coast attacking kick? Normally they've been driving it out of their own half on the final play. There's a delay here. The finger in the eye for AJ Brimson. The offload from Cleese Haas, and yeah, some contact, accidental, incidental, call it what you will, from Egan Butcher across here.
Fifth and last
Was it accidental and incidental?
Yeah.
Not much.
No, not much at all.
So play on. Here's Foran. Driving the ball high, slightly across the ground. And Swali'i hasn't dropped one today. Tedesco, Manu, and Swali'i. Big for the Roosters as the offload there.
Into a defender.
And it's knocked on by the visitors. So here's a chance, a rare chance for the Gold Coast to build an attacking set.
Still yet to be tackled inside the 20 of the opposition's half in the second half for the Titans. Campbell brought into the game for what he's able to provide with the ball. Electric footwork.
Okay, guys, hands down. Shot clock off, Sam.
Second game today, Newcastle, Melbourne. Both teams off success. Jaden Campbell searching for some tired Roosters to run around, but not on that occasion. Aaron Clark goes on for a support player to run inside the 20. And it's Stimson. Campbell taking them on, and Maria Hargreaves said, come here, whippersnapper. Aaron Clark driving towards the in goal. Egan Butcher got enough of him just.
Tackle's complete, you were short. Tackle's complete, you were short.
Adam G with the repeated explanation. Foran, catch and pass. Now Brimson, Manu all over him. And still the Roosters' goal line defence survives. Slightly off the goal line here, but Kelly knocked down by Sandon Smith. This will be a fresh set. Gold Coast gets 6 more at them. Verrills for Liu. Well, Trent Robinson will be watching this with as much intent as some of the attack he's seen today. Can they keep their line intact? Another set restart. Aaron Clark, Stimson. And Stimson copped an ankle tap from Egan Butcher, finished off by Keary and Smith. He's lost a boot in the process. Clark, Foran, Kelly. Flick offload, picked up by Campbell. In fact, it's Chris Randall. Out of dummy half, Kelly driving low. Another set restart. Well, when does someone go to the bench?
Okay, just wait. Just wait. Okay, Ash. We're coming into one. We're looking at a double movement. If not, we've got a penalty first for offside from Joey Manu.
So it's not going to be a try.
Yes.
It'll be a penalty against the Roosters.
Joey Manu's not square at marker, which is identified on field and involved.
Adam G Express.
Ball carrying arm is up at the moment. Brian Kelly's entitled to reach out. The ball remains up, and he grounds the ball over the try line.
Oh.
We have a decision.
Well, it might be a try. In fact, it is a try. So despite Manu being offside, Brian Kelly has kept playing to the whistle. He's reached out, and at long last, the Titans have a try.
You can see for the Roosters, a real deflating moment for the Titans and Brian Kelly. Able to get themselves on the board in this second half. They've had limited opportunity down in this end, the Roosters have dictated terms from field position. And Kelly fighting on the ground. Was a tackle held there, deemed not to. He plays on with it, then scores a try.
Took 65 minutes. They got a 4-pointer and they've turned it into 6. Jaden Campbell, great kick from out near the western sideline. So his first NRL shot at goal is a good one, Jaden Campbell. Brian Kelly scores the try. It's 36 points to 6.
You could see straight away for the Roosters, they were so hell-bent on trying to keep their try line with no tries against them in that second half. We heard from Lara Pitt at half-time in regards to what Trent Robinson wanted. Up until that time, they had done so. Tedesco asking the referee plenty of questions before he kicks off, but Brian Kelly, 5th try of the season.
Jaden Campbell becomes their 5th goal kicker of the season. Tanner Boyd, Kieran Foran, Joe Stimson, Aaron Schopp have all taken shots, and now Jaden has the first of his NRL career. It might not be his last, given the way he struck that, to convert the try wide out. So an interesting 13 minutes here for the Roosters. You imagine Trent Robinson doesn't want them just to ease to the line and allow another try or two to add some respectability to the scoreboard. We heard Lara at half-time say Trent Robinson wants ruthless. Here's Clark, Foran, Kelly confronting Swali'i initially, and then Manu gets across in front of him. Clark again. Puts the ball away, and Fodawaker goes to work through the middle, crawling his way upfield. Last play here. Campbell says, let's go high. Straight down the ground. Tupou waits underneath and makes the catch. A mismatch in the air against Jojo Fafita. Now Billy Smith. Nathan Brown. Last year at the Eels, he played 14 games, come to the Roosters, and this number 8 of the year.
Pretty handy player to have, Nathan Brown, particularly in the middle. He offers some ball-playing ability. As Joe Hargreaves gets hit off the ball.
A pick-up from Parramatta after he went a long time without seeing NRL footy. Right, former Origin player, as the kick comes here for Kelly to clean up. Keary was there putting pressure on him, and Luke Keary's come away with a bit of a hobble here. At first I thought it was cramp. Might seem a bit more than that as he looks to run it off. Campbell. Causing some headaches since entering the ground. Sami. He winces in pain as he's bent back awkwardly. Probably well advised to let go of the shirt of Jared Warrior-Hargreaves. Liu, Foran, catch and pass. Kelly couldn't get his hands to it properly. And now a penalty goes to the home team.
Here's Manu come up and go Foran. A pretty fair shot into the ribs. Foran only just getting back to his feet now.
Who, mate?
Still buckled over.
Nat! On report, potential hip drop.
Might be.
So Brandon's early, and it breaks down.
His play lunch.
Same as Tanner in the first half.
Nat Butcher on report for a hip drop. You heard that through the microphone of referee Adam G. So even though the players wouldn't have turned it next Thursday against Brisbane yet, they need to be careful. A little hobble for Keary. Now Nat Butcher on report for a hip drop. Kieran Foran still trying to shape his complaint. Offload for Isaac Liu. And he goes within 3 or 4 metres. Standing in the tackle, Verrills. Verrills gets the ball away. Randall goes in. Chris Randall, who's been a trier all afternoon. And he gets the Titans' second try of the game.
Yeah, back-to-back tries for the Titans. A really nice play here on this left-hand side. Chris Randall normally filling in the hooking role. Here's the hip drop that was put on report on Sami. And Chris Randall fills in normally at hooker. He's started out on the edge and played through the middle the last couple of weeks. And he's done a terrific job. Beautiful work from Verrills at acting half.
He's rocking the baby. The scoreboard 36-10. Man at the centre of that, or involved in that player swap with Greg Marziu, who went from Gold Coast to Newcastle, and Chris headed up the highway to Rabina. And gee, the way that Jaden Campbell strikes them. Straight over the black dot on both occasions. His first 2 kicks in the NRL, outstanding. But Chris Randall, what about his versatility? Coming here as a hooker, Tanner Boyd still sitting to send Jaden Campbell out.
Really good reception, wasn't it, from Verrills? Randall just eyeballed the A defender there from Verrills. Randall run a nice outside in line. And then back-to-back tries for the Roosters after what had been a real flawless display. Tries in the 66th and the 71st minute.
The Roosters' tries came rapidly in the first half. 30-0 at the break, and Fodawaker winds up. He's not easing down to the line with 8 and a bit to play. Verrills for Kelly, racing up Nathan Brown. His first man there, can't stop the offload though. And Isaac Fasua-Malawi out there in number 18 for the Titans now. Verrills cut down by Billy Smith. So the last 2 tries to the Titans, and they go 3 in a row. Fasua-Malawi playing it on halfway. Clark runs into the arms of Fletcher Baker. 2 players. Campbell goes high. Look at that halfback position for Tanner Boyd. It's collected by Tedesco. Keely goes straight to Tupou. That third game today, Corey, North Queensland Parramatta tonight on Fox League. This 5-game winning streak through your eyes. What's been the best part about the Cowboys?
Yes, defensively for mine, for the Cowboys, we saw last year they were in the top 3 defensive teams in the competition. They've really changed that side of their game. Now, going into that, you got Scott Drinkwater at the back, who is there a better player in the competition over the last 5 weeks than Scott Drinkwater. So, Brandon Smith leaving the field, Turpin into the action, and Brandon Smith's had a terrific game. Again, been a lot of spotlight on Brandon this season, and it's been one of his better games, if not his best one for the Tricolours.
Starting hooker for the first time since Magic Round. 77 run meters, couple of tackle busts, 34 tackles. So leaving that broken thumb in the rear view mirror. Returning last week off the bench, starting this afternoon. A solid performance. So the Roosters hunting their 7th try here. On the move, Billy Smith takes some high-ish contact from Mo Fodawaker. In fact, it was high. Called now by referee G.
This is foul play.
It was a great little set play out on this left-hand side. Billy Smith hard against the grain. Fodawaker coming across, just a little bit lazy, a little bit tired. Too much in it. Just collects Billy Smith.
Can't take the quick tap on foul play. So Tedesco puts it on the ground, and now we see Turpin send Waria Hargreaves on his way again. Turpin, and now close to the line. Egan Butcher was hunting a double.
Time off, Egan.
He scored the first try of the afternoon, Egan.
All the way up, please. Aaron, push up.
Police Haas getting there first and doing enough to deny Egan Butcher. So they reload. Maria Hargreaves. But they were setting up for a trick shot there before Hargreaves just rolled into the defence. Nathan Brown flat. Here's Fletcher Baker hunting 2 this afternoon.
Time off.
So they hold them up a couple of times in quick succession here.
Yeah, it's the ability of Nathan Brown I mentioned before, just a ball playing, looks out the back, plays short, set up a try last week doing something similar.
So Turpin for Marnie. Last play, Keary is deep, and they go to him now. He kicks across the face, out towards Daniel Tupou, who gets the ball and the offload away. Maria Hargreaves, the flick, across the Fletcher Baker. He goes on to Nat Butcher, and Butcher has Khan Pereira race up and shut him down.
There was a tackle that needed to be made from Khan Pereira because they had space on this right-hand side. A little bit of defensive resolve from the Titans in this second half. 30 points to 0 in the first half.
So they're winning the second half 12-6, to state the obvious. And now it gets better for them with a penalty.
It's not fast, AJ. Fair play,
Got James Tedesco only moments ago, this time AJ.
Both fullbacks given a lesson. No tap and go with foul play. Nathan Brown just hanging that left arm out, making high contact. Not a lot in it, barring the penalty. Correct call. Cleese Haas. 21 years of age. Titan until at least the end of 2024. Fasul Malaawi, another youngster who Des Hasler will take control of next year. Des is going to get some good pieces. How does it come together in 2024 as Foran goes to Campbell? And on that right-hand side, driving forward, Jojo Fafita. In fact, it's Haas again. Now Mo Fotuaika. So hard to get to ground, Mo. Last play, Verrills tries to steer his kick through the line. It's off the Roosters, and they get a fresh set played at by Luke Keary. Now penalty.
Play the ball, unacceptable.
So plenty of time here for the Titans to get a third try this afternoon. Remember, they trailed 30-0 at the break. 36 blot soon after, and here they are backing their way into the in goal again.
One. Time off, let go. Straight out.
Fasul Malaawi.
A few words spoken there between Jared and Aaron Clark.
Big lump like his brother, isn't he, Isaac? They had to number up the Roosters. They're still barking at each other, Corey.
Push up.
Look at them.
It's a sight we've seen a few times.
Remember Sin Bin Sunda? Fotuaika. I think that was at Cam Murray that day. The eyes and the verbal as Verrills through Clark. Now Foran, Kelly inside for Brimson. Start here for the Titans. The offload from Fasul Malaawi picked up by Verrills, and Brimson bouncing around on or about the 10-metre line. The Titans with a clear advantage in possession since halftime. Clark tries to do something with it here. Aaron Clark down low. He says he scored. Aaron Clark says the football brushed the goal line. That's all that needed. Maria Hargreaves was in to lend his argument to the cause, but it's all in vain because Aaron Clark, it must be said, that's a reward for a busy game. He's been one of the better players for the Titans in a heavy loss, and he gets a late try.
Yeah, determined run there from Aaron Clark. A little too late in regards to throwing a bit of lip Jared's way. He's been outstanding, but Aaron Clark, one-on-one, gets rid of Fletcher Baker, gets down low, does the ball hit the ground? Aaron Clark's sure thinks so. Hard to tell from that angle, and straight away, big Jared in his grill.
So try is confirmed. Jaden Campbell adds the extras. 3 converted tries in a row. Adds some respectability to the scoreboard that read 36-0 after 65 minutes, Corey. So 36-0 to the Roosters with 15 minutes to play. And the Titans have gone crash bang wallop with Kelly, Randall and Clark scoring.
Yeah, it won't be pleasing the coach, but nevertheless 36 points to 18, if that is the final score. It's a well-earned victory from what we saw from the Roosters. There's a lot to like about what they've come up with this afternoon. Where's Aaron Clark standing off the kickoff? Right in front. Big Jared still.
They're still going at each other.
Yeah. But that there, 3 consecutive tries to the Titans certainly won't impress the coach.
Well, Hargreaves is looking for contact here on Fodawaker, who just angles his run towards the wider men. Manu, Nat Butcher and Fletcher Baker. Here's Stimson. And there's Waria Hargreaves. He was lurking with intent and he got someone. How good is footy, Corey?
Oh, the red mist has descended on Big Jared.
Where's Aaron Clark? Does Aaron have the sense to park the adrenaline and say, look, I'm not going to run at Jared now? Inside the final minute, here it comes. Here's Aaron Clark. There's Waria Hargreaves, and Clark passes. Finding Fasulmala Awi. Now Jaden Campbell. Kick and chase down to Tedesco, who scoops the ball up. And in the final minute, it should be the Roosters finishing with the ball and finishing with a convincing win, but maybe not the margin and the complete performance they were after, having built such a big lead at halftime.
Yeah, 3 consecutive tries to the Titans have put a bit of respectability back in the scoreline for the home side, but it's been convincing and comprehensive from Trent Robinson and his men who've been searching for a victory. And maybe, Matty, maybe this just might ignite the Roosters.
Are they back or not? Is there time or not? All will be revealed over the final 6 rounds. But they've ticked the first box. In terms of winning games in a row, they've made it 1 in a row. Their 3-game losing streak ends on the Gold Coast. Not that you'd know it, looking at Trent Robinson. 30-0 at halftime, 36-0 for much of the second half, and then they win 36-18.